Welcome to the Wellness 360, our monthly all-hands company broadcast. I went on vacation recently, and I just want to say I appreciate this team so much. It is a huge blessing knowing that the team at home has everything under control, so you can truly unplug while you're gone. If any of you feel like you can't take off work because you will fall too far behind, or for any other reason, please reach out. We all deserve our time off. We all need our time off. It's healthy to take time off.
Yeah, and we just want to take a second to realize that everything is difficult right now. With the pandemic, there are a lot of uncertainties and challenges. I am proud to say that there are more names than I can even mention on this broadcast who have stepped up and worked to help other team members who have needed to be out due to illness.
Nick.
It is so important that we work as a team. Take care of each other and yourselves.
Thanks, Kevin. So I was curious about our mask policy, if you could talk a bit more about that.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. We strongly urge all team members to wear masks when indoors and are customer facing. Also, wherever there are legally mandated mask requirements, we will always be following the law. I would like to actually bring in our new senior HR payroll specialist, Will Meehan, into this conversation. Now, Will just started this week, but he's already done so much great work. I asked him to join us today, so please feel free to ask him what questions you have.
Hey, Will, thanks so much for joining us. I do have a couple questions for you. Would you mind just explaining what our current COVID protocols are?
Yes, we strongly urge our employees to wear a mask when indoors and to get vaccinated. We will also follow local and state mandates when applicable.
Awesome. So if an employee is exposed to COVID or if they start having symptoms of COVID, what are our guidelines for that situation?
If an employee is exposed or has symptoms of COVID, they will need to leave work and get tested immediately. While an employee is out of work to get tested, they will be paid for that time until the test results return.
Great, that makes sense. If a COVID test comes back negative and that employee is still feeling ill, what are our recommendations for that employee?
If a COVID test is negative but an employee is not able to return to work, they are able to use their personal PTO until they feel well enough to return.
Perfect. And if an employee tests positive for COVID, what do we let them know to do?
If an employee tests positive for COVID, they need to stay home from work per CDC guidelines and will be paid for up to 80 hours of missed work during that time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the guidelines and recommendations, Will. If someone wants to contact you to discuss any of this further, what's the best way to get in touch?
If anybody would like to speak with me about COVID guidelines or other HR or payroll related questions, please reach out to me at will@mypetswellness.net, or if there is an urgent situation, please speak with your manager who can contact me directly.
Awesome. Thanks so much again, Will. We are so happy to have you on the team. And again, for anyone out there, please feel free to reach out to Will if you do have any HR or COVID related questions. Back to you, Kevin.
Yeah, Will, definitely happy to have you on the team. So thank you to you and Dr. Rebecca.
We've got winners.
Woo!
And I mean, you guys, for South Carolina, just opened their doors.
Yeah.
Newest locations to our family to come in and take the title.
Less than a month.
$500 out to each and every one of those 4 names on the screen. And you know what? New York did not do a shabby job.
Nope.
They had the lead for a long time. So New York, we're going to be moving out $200 second place bonus rewards for the New York team there. So congratulations to the name on the screen. Job well done. And I hope you do something nice for yourself with the money.
Yeah, and I think they will. So, you know, I was thinking the other day, and one of the most valuable things in life is perspective, and it's also one of the most difficult things to obtain, especially in a timely manner. Before coming to My Pets Wellness, I worked in customer support for years for various large companies. One of the things I took away from those experiences is the idea that each customer interaction can give us instant perspective. What I mean by that is when someone is upset about something we may see as, I don't know, small or inconsequential, it is also an opportunity to see the world from their perspective and an opportunity to be empathetic. So often people have so little control in the world, and when they are in a situation where they are the customer and they also feel that they can exert control, they will take that time to possibly redirect their frustration onto the current situation. Dr. Rodney lends some of his great insight on this topic in this month's Be Well segment.
I'm excited today to give our wellness focus for this month for our Wellness 360. Today, we've had a theme of how to deal with difficult clients. I'm going to talk to you about how to communicate with difficult people. It's really important for you to know how to communicate to them. There are several key factors that you have to maintain in order to de-escalate somebody that's escalated and is angry. When somebody is emotionally dysregulated, that's what crazy means. They're unable to control their emotions. When they're at a high level of anger, when they're thinking irrationally, your rational words won't make any sense to them. They can't even hear them because they're in their state of emotional dysregulation. Now, the way to deal with that is you have to figure out a way to de-escalate instead of escalating them. If they get angry, if you try to shout over them, they'll shout over you. And here we go up the ladder of escalation. Now, nothing's going to work, okay? If they are saying irrational things, all of your science and veterinary experience and your experience as a clinician, as a vet tech, they won't even listen to because they're in that irrational state. Don't try to calm them down with your rational thoughts because a crazy person, a crazy maker, is trying to make you feel crazy and now you're getting just as crazy as they are. So what do? Some of you aren't going to like this, but it is the way to do it. This is what works. If somebody becomes emotionally dysregulated, if they're being difficult, if they're a crazy maker, you look them in the eye. You look into the windows of their soul. You can see into their soul, they can see into your soul. You don't respond with arguments that they're not going to be able to understand or listen to. You just look intently into their eyes. That's vitally important. You can't look away. They're going to sit there thinking they're not listening to me, and then they're going to get any more angry. You're going to escalate the situation. Just keep looking in their eyes. It might be uncomfortable for you for a while, but guess what? If it's uncomfortable for you, is it uncomfortable for them? Yes. You don't say anything. You just listen. You'll be surprised how quickly they will de-escalate when you're looking at them in their eyes. Don't have to say a thing. Eventually, they'll start getting more and more calm. Now, you might be saying, well, that doesn't seem fair. Do I have to sit there and listen to them swearing at me and yelling at me and screaming at me and intimidating me? Of course you don't. So that's where our boundaries of protection come in. I will listen to you as long, this is a boundary of protection, as you stop yelling. I will listen to you as long as you stop swearing at me. I'm feeling intimidated right now. If you continue to intimidate me, I'm no longer going to listen to you. If you continue to do so, I'm going to leave the room. If I leave the room, you know that your behavior has been inappropriate. If they refuse to treat you with respect, walk out of the room. Tell them to make another appointment. And maybe the next time they'll act a little bit differently. So you maintain boundaries of protection by setting whatever boundary is comfortable for you. Don't play the game of you intimidate me and then I'm going to intimidate you. It'll never work. Don't try to talk to somebody and rationalize with an irrational person. It'll never work. It's only when they come away from their emotional dysregulation, when they come out of their irrational thoughts, that's when you can communicate to them. It might happen during that time period, and then you can have a conversation with them once they calm down. If they don't calm down, wait till the next time they come in. If they never make another appointment, well, I guess you got rid of one difficult person, didn't you? Right? Do you understand the importance of listening, looking them in the eye, and waiting for them to calm down before you act? That's how you deal with crazy people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rodney. That was
Crazy people.
Yeah. Woo! Man, we appreciate Dr. Rodney's perspective as always. And while he was addressing some of the more challenging aspects of the day-to-day work, we also know that doesn't take away from the excitement of new team members joining us. Our team will continue to grow over the next month with the addition of these key new team members. We prefer to grow our team from people we trust, so please refer anyone for our current open roles. Additional available jobs can be found on our website, and applications can be submitted directly there. If you are interested in applying for any of the roles, please contact Dr. Rebecca.
If anybody knows of a veterinarian or technician who's interested in joining our team, please reach out to me anytime. As you know, for every veterinarian you refer, you can earn a $5,000 bonus if that person is hired. We also pay $1,000 for technician referrals. This month, we had one technician referral from our Greenville network. Thanks, Katie.
Woo woo! Yeah, also this month, we have a new format for our Around the Region segment that we think you'll enjoy. Yeah, I think you're like that, yeah. Why don't you take it away, Dr. Rebecca?
Let's start out by heading to Knoxville.
Yeah, so I'm Adam. I'm actually the location lead technician for our Knoxville location.
Great to see you, Adam. And how long have you been with MPW?
So as of today, actually marks 3 months that I've been with My Pets Wellness.
That's amazing. I hope you're loving it here. Can you give us an update on what's happening in Knoxville?
So within the next coming months, we're working it out with concierge that for the month of October, we're going to be doing a costume contest with our clients and our patients. When concierge reaches out to the clients, let them know about their upcoming appointments and such forth, or when they're setting appointments, let them know if you bring in your dog or your cat and it's in a costume, we're going to take a picture of it and it's going to enter you in. The end of the month of October on the 31st, Halloween Day, we're going to go and we're going to pick our top 3 costumes for our pets, and then accordingly we'll be handing out prizes between first, second, third as a pretty much a big consensus among all the Knoxville staff about which one is our favorite.
I love a good costume contest. I'm excited to see some photos from that. Adam, can you tell us what your favorite part of working at MPW is?
So my favorite part is I actually feel like I'm actually cared about as an employee, as a person. I feel like I'm taken serious as a technician. That, you know, Dr. Jason, Dr. Rebecca, everyone has been like so wonderful that I feel cared about as a person technician, because I feel like a lot of companies out there, they treat us as employees, and this company treats us as a person, actually fair.
Thank you, Adam. We so appreciate you. Now let's check in with Dr. Ray in South Carolina.
Dr. Raymond L. Fay. I am a senior traveling veterinarian based out of Greenville, South Carolina.
Great to see you, Dr. Ray. Can you give us some updates from the area?
Right now, we're getting everything set up. We're actually doing very well at our hospital location on Woodruff. We are selling. The staff is committed to selling wellness plans. The staff is learning very, very well, but 3 of the staff members I've worked with for over a year at the last practice I came from, so they're all getting along, they're all doing well. They are, like I said, committed to wellness plans and committed to training each other and learning more about their jobs. And they're actually committed to being one of the best in the actual pet wellness arena, if you will. They're really doing well.
We are certainly proud of our team out there in South Carolina. Tell us, do you have any favorite regulars?
Oh, I have 2 that come in with me every day. Since now that I'm in the house, they're back. I have a husky named Naga, which is Inuit for no, because when I got him, I didn't actually have a name for him, and I kept telling him no. So I figured Naga would work. He wouldn't know what that meant, and no one would call him no all the time. And then I have a Malamute mix that is called Coda, which is friend in Native American tongue. And I have those. They pretty much are very, very good dogs. They come with me most of the time, except for today. They're at home. I left them while I came in here. But, but yeah, they come with me, and They're like my sidekicks. You usually don't see me without them. They're with me everywhere. So, yeah, I do have that.
Love to hear that. Give those pups some love from us. What's your favorite part about working at MPW?
This is a slam dunk. One, I'm a senior traveler, so I get to move around from a couple of places, and Dallas being the most common one, the one that I've been to since I've started. But the fact that we're not pushing 2 and 3 appointments at a time on a doctor, we're not stressing you out, we're not stressing the staff out, because it's stressful for the staff to keep up.
That is one of the ways that we help ensure the wellness of our staff. Thanks so much, Dr. Ray. And next up, let's head to the Big Apple for some updates.
My name is Gabrielle. I'm the general manager of our New York City Chelsea location.
Great to see you, Gabrielle. Would you give us some updates on New York?
In New York, we've been working on a few repairs to our boarding facility, which will maximize the capacity that we can have at our Chelsea location. We are starting to cross-train our service techs with our medical techs, so we can kind of create a cohesive business in one facility where our techs are able to do nail trimmings and ear cleanings for our clients that I think would be super beneficial to our pups and also help expand our knowledge base for our kennel tech staff.
That's really fantastic to hear. What are your thoughts on the new EAP program?
The New York location has a lot of college students, and I think that that's a really crazy time in life where you're trying to figure yourself out, what you want to do, and you have a crazy schedule and a huge workload, and life can get a little bit overwhelming. And now on top of COVID and mixing COVID into the mix, I think everybody was really happy to hear that there is an outlet for them that's being provided by corporate. Mental health can get expensive, so they're really happy to know that it was cost-free and just there for them.
Absolutely. Here at MPW, we want to make sure our staff has the resources they need. Do you have any favorite regulars that come by?
So I love Flo. Flo is an older pup. He has really cool parents, but Flo is he literally flows. Like, it's the perfect name for him. He just goes with the flow. He goes slow. He takes his time. He smells things. He's just like there for the dogs. Like, he's present, but he's just an observer, and I love that about him because I just think watching him, I can sit and watch him all day. His personality is just so funny. He's like the sheriff.
That's so great. It sounds like you're really getting the flow of things in New York City. This update section with team members on the ground is so helpful to have. I'm also excited to continue to bring on new talent so that they can contribute to help our team grow. Even though I travel a lot, it's always great to hear from each of our networks, and I often wonder how things are going.
And I jumped in right with the stampede. Right with the stampede.
Now we're going to see what's going on right in our own neighborhood.
My name is Carrie. I started here about a month ago. I am still currently in the training process, but it's going really well.
Great to see you, Carrie. Welcome to the team. What exciting things have been happening here in Nashville?
So exciting thing that we got today was the Uvex machine, which holds all of the controlled substances. So it'll be a lot easier for us to manage those. We'll be able to just keep it very organized and know how much is going in and out of the clinic. And we actually got that all set up today, and we'll be learning about that over the next couple of days. Nolensville, kind of a cool thing, we'll be seeing a silver fox. which I feel like a lot of people don't get to do that around here. West Haven, we are seeing like a bunch of clients in West Haven. Every day is kind of a little different, but a lot of people tend to be over there. And Spring Hill, that's just steadily going as well.
That's really fun. What's your favorite part about working at MPW?
My favorite part about working for My Pets Wellness is that everyone is pretty much a big family. We all get along really well. We're all really happy to be here, and we're all really happy to be here for the pets.
Well, Carrie, when you're here, you're family. Man, now I want some Olive Garden. All right, now let's get on down to Texas and see what's going on there.
My name is Nikki. I support the Dallas division on the service side. There are 4 total locations in Dallas. 3 of them support boarding and daycare services. So I help out the leaders in those locations kind of develop their business units.
Great to have you, Nikki. Any updates on the team in Dallas?
I have service leads in all 3 of our boarding and daycare locations. I have Sarah in Design District. I have Caitlin in our Greenville location. And our newest addition is Amanda. Amanda is now in our Lake Ridge location. So they've all kind of taken ownership of their own little business units, and they're doing a great job getting everybody trained and setting standards and increasing our sanitation protocols. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, that's fantastic to hear. What are your thoughts on our new employee assistance program?
I think probably one of the biggest benefits to that is that it's available for everyone. It's available for everyone, and it doesn't cost anything. It focuses a lot on mental health. It focuses a lot on being able to provide resources and answers, because I think that there's a lot of times that that we all kind of get trapped in that I feel like I should already know the answer to this, or I'm feeling overwhelmed. But it's really awesome that we are bringing that on board, and we have the ability to use that at any level of the organization without, I guess, having to divulge too much information or talk to our supervisor. We just have that option to use those resources as we need them.
Absolutely. And have there been any challenges in the Dallas network?
So the ongoing challenges in the Dallas network really just include a lot of maintenance. Our Lake Ridge location has some issues with the HVAC and the HVAC and our roofing right now. And those have been kind of ongoing. So outside of that, just the occasional air conditioning kind of breaking down. And then, of course, we've had some issues with break-ins at our Greenville location. But we have a new upgrade to our security system, so hoping that kind of subsides a little bit.
Certainly some difficulties there, but we appreciate the team in Dallas stepping up to meet those. Thanks, Nikki. Last but not least, let's head to the sunny state of Florida.
Hey, my name is Tabitha, and I am a kennel tech.
Hey, Tabitha, good to meet you. Anything exciting happening in the Florida network?
So we are really able to expand a little bit more now. Our other building, we have 2 buildings here at Daytona, and we are able to expand more into our other building to be able to bring in more clients, more dogs, more services, as we are looking to potentially increase our grooming as well. So giving us more room to be able to grow that, as well as our vet part, and then our boarding and daycare, being able to take care of those animals.
I love to hear it. Thanks for the update. Do you have anyone at MPW that just makes your day a little bit brighter?
Oh, definitely. So all of my team members are absolutely outstanding, but I really have to give it to my 2 managers. We have Antonio and Sarah. They have just made this place what it is. They work all the time. They work very, very hard. They're very enjoyable to work with. Chris also, she is one of our newer workers here. She's also a kennel tech, and she works so hard. She just makes me laugh all the time, and it I'm excited to come to work, not only to work with our dogs, but also because the people here are just outstanding.
That's fantastic. Do you have any favorite regulars?
Oh, that's a really hard one. So we have so many regulars that come in on Monday through Friday basis, or 3-4 days a week. I would probably have to do shout outs to a couple of dogs. We have our Reese. He is just the doofiest pit bull ever. We have Bistro, who all he wants is love. Olive, she is one of the best giant schnauzers I've ever come across. And the owners are fantastic. So not only are they wonderful dogs that are just full of personality, but their owners make me laugh every time they come in. They're very, very sweet, and it just makes the moment the animal walks in to the moment they leave enjoyable the whole time.
Thank you, Tabitha. At the end of the day, we do it all for the pets. Over the next 12 months, we'll be announcing new corporate roles here on this broadcast and by email. We're currently hiring for a senior traveling vet tech and a purchasing and inventory manager based out of our corporate location here in Franklin. In the coming months, we'll also be hiring for a senior traveling veterinarian, deployment specialist, DVM ambassador, customer acquisition specialist, and regional manager. If you're interested in learning about these roles, I encourage any of you to reach out to me via email. As always, we like to take a moment to remember why we're all here, to take care of our patients. For today's Focus on the Medicine, we'll be hearing from Dr. Meg Roth on how to conduct a FAST scan.
Hi, I am Dr. Meg Roth, and I am part of the Nashville Network here with My Pets Wellness. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about how to perform a FAST scan on a canine patient. The FAST in FAST scan stands for Focused Assessment with Sonography for Trauma. There are two types of FAST scans that are generally performed, the thoracic FAST scan, or TFAST, and the abdominal FAST scan, or AFAST. Today we are going to be talking about how to perform an AFAST. Abdominal FAST scans and thoracic FAST scans are generally performed on patients who come in emergent situations. Sometimes they will have undergone blunt force trauma or have experienced collapse. In general, you're looking for some sort of cavitary effusion. In order to perform the FAST scan, ideally the patient is in right lateral recumbency. Sometimes this is not possible. It can be done in dorsal recumbency or, if necessary, in sternal recumbency due to a patient's respiratory status. Again, ideally you would clip about 4 to 5 centimeters for each of the quadrants that you will be examining, but in an emergent situation when you're moving quickly, this does not always have to be done. You will wet the area with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. And then visually, you will divide the abdomen into 4 quadrants that you can liken to the face of a clock. You will start at the 12 o'clock region, and this is known as the diaphragmatic hepatic region, and it's located just caudal to the xiphoid process. You will take the probe, and you will face it cranially on the patient. Once you get that visual on the ultrasound machine, you will fan the probe 45 degrees in each angle, looking for pockets of fluid. After you've done this, you will then rotate the probe 90 degrees and again fan 45-degree angle in each direction, again looking for fluid pockets. The next region you will look at is the 3 o'clock region. It is known as the splenorenal region. Same exact technique as you did at the diaphragmatic hepatic region. The probe will face cranially. You will look for pockets of fluid here. You will then fan 45 degrees in each direction, rotate the probe 90 degrees, again fan in 45-degree increments. Just to move onwards, the 6 o'clock region is known as the cystocolic region, over the urinary bladder and the colon. Again, same exact technique, cranial, fan, rotate 90 degrees, fan. Finally, the last quadrant you will do is on the right lateral side. It is known as the hepatic renal region, and then again, you will repeat the same exact technique. The fast scan is graded on a 4-point scale, with 0 being no evidence of fluid in any of the quadrants, and 1 point given to each of the quadrants where fluid is found. This does not take into account the amount of fluid in each quadrant, only the number of quadrants that contains fluid. A skilled practitioner can perform this fast scan in approximately 6 minutes, so it has the benefit of being quick and being able to be done during an emergency while a patient is being stabilized. There are other uses for a fast scan, including looking for masses, looking for cystoliths, or guiding centesis. So this is a great tool to have in your practice, and really a skill that all practitioners should be able to hone. So I hope this was a helpful refresher in how to perform a fast scan, and thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Dr. Meg. For our product focus this month, Dr. Jason will be reviewing the importance of responsible antimicrobial stewardship.
Hi, this is Dr. Jason, Executive Medical Director of My Pets Wellness, here to talk to you about this month's medical spotlight, antimicrobial stewardship, or in English, the problem we're seeing of more and more developing resistant bugs and how we can be a part of the solution. Over the last few years, in both the human and veterinary world, we've seen a development of more and more microbial resistance in our patients, and it is up to us as doctors to be part of the solution and not part of the problem, and think twice before we prescribe antibiotics. Resistance can come in one of 3 ways. It can be intrinsic, so the organism's just got an innate ability to not be susceptible to that drug. It can be situational or circumstantial, where the drug can't get to that organism, so it's safe across the blood-brain barrier, or acquired. And that's when those organisms evolve an ability to not be susceptible. And these are the ones that we can do our part to prevent from getting worse. So how do we do that? So first is going to be to prevent the disease in the first place. Making sure we're talking about wellness care and vaccines and preventing our patients from getting lepto and Lyme and diseases that are going to require antibiotic therapy in the first place. Second is going to be choosing the right medication. Using the Target app, using an antibiotic chart, and taking advantage of our lab and performing cultures to know what you're needing to treat and what's going to be successful before you just choose an antibiotic off the shelf. The third is going to be to remember that in many cases an antibiotic may not be required, and every infection doesn't need an antibiotic. Not everything's infected. A lot of our cases of GI where we prescribe metronidazole would likely resolve without it. So being cognizant of when we need to prescribe an antibiotic versus when we don't is one of the things we can control as doctors to prevent worsening of acquired resistance. The fourth thing is going to be remember to start small. If it's a small skin infection, choose a topical. And if you need to choose a systemic med, choose a small gun antibiotic over a big gun like Baytril. Fifth thing we can do is going to be making sure that things like pulse therapy and prophylactic antibiotics become a thing of the past. Just because we have dental disease, just because we had a tick on a patient, we don't need to prescribe a course of antibiotics. So the last thing to talk about is owner compliance, because that's one of the ways this thing develops too, is making sure that we go over with our owners how to give it, how often to give it, give the full course, and don't miss doses, because those mistakes also are part of the reason that we're seeing a spike of acquired resistant infections. So in general, remember those guidelines, remember those 5 things, talk to your owners about how they're giving it and how often and why it's so important, and we'll do our part to prevent any more resistant bugs from developing and practice good antimicrobial stewardship. Right drug, right target, right duration, right route. Hopefully that was useful. You guys have a great rest of your day and be well.
You well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Jason. You know what? We're now at the Ask Me Anything section. So anybody out there, please feel free to ask anything in chat, and Dr. Rebecca will feed us some of your questions.
Perfect. All right. So let's see. First question up. What's next with core standards?
That's a good question. So We have had everybody do a self-audit at all of our locations. Thank you to everybody who helped lead those into early August. And now Jamari and myself have reached out to all leadership to set up some time to talk through the results and the action plans that we can work on you so we can make sure that we are supporting you. And then we are going to schedule our next audit for all locations in October. So over the next couple weeks, we will get on the phone with you guys, with all leadership, and talk through those action plans so you can be ready for that audit in October.
Do we have any new contests coming up? Anything new in the future?
Yeah, I guess a little disappointing. The answer is not at this time. I'm sure we're going to be able to cook something up here pretty soon.
I think we might be able to.
Not today, y'all.
Let's see. For our new employee assistance program, is that information kept confidential?
The answer to that would be yes, absolutely. Any medical information along those lines are followed with the HIPAA guidelines to the EAP team. We do not see anything out of the EAP process.
Looks like there's a question about the wellness plan contest.
So it looks like what is the update on the wellness plan contest?
Yes, announced earlier in the broadcast, we had basically like a late arrival attendee come and take it with
the backstretch.
The South Carolina team winning it all.
Yeah, with New York also being putting up an awesome number.
Awesome numbers.
Are we going to have another CE event soon? And I can actually answer that one. So we do have a CE event coming up this Tuesday evening. Zoetis is going to be presenting dermatology CE, so just chatting through a couple case scenarios and best practices for managing those challenging derm cases. Let's see. So I think, let's see, another question that I've gotten recently is how do referral bonuses work and when are payments actually dispersed? And so referral bonuses, if you do refer a veterinarian, for example, that half of that referral bonus will come at the 6-month point of that employee's employment. And then the rest of that referral bonus will be dispersed at their 12-month anniversary with the company. Let's see if we have any other questions. Looks like we don't have any additional questions for today. So back to you, Brock and Kevin.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I super appreciate y'all being here, and stay safe and be well, and until next time.
Take care.